Hi, I'm sviz. This is the Brutal60 by Canon Keys. It's a 60% keyboard with a top mount and roughly inspired by the Brutal architecture with the Boston City Hall. I've been using it for about 2 months now, and I'm here to share my thoughts on this keyboard. As a quick disclaimer, I did buy this with my own money on the aftermarket. First, let's take a look at the assembly of this keyboard. We have a couple of parts here. The bottom aluminum piece, the PCB, the plate, and the top aluminum piece. Lilac really is just such a pretty color, and the way the light hits this case is really nice. Looking at the bottom piece first, we can see the top and the bottom of it, the Canon Keys logo. At first, I didn't like this branding, but it really did grow on me, and it's very nicely engraved, giving it a sleek, subtle look. The bottom piece also does provide a lot of heft or weight and has nice rounded corners and decent bezels. For my PCB, one of my main requirements in a keyboard is a hot swap. While I do know how to solder, I love to try different configurations with switches and plates, hence me needing hot swap. The particular one I use for this build is the Instant 60 PCB from Canon Keys as well. It's a standard ANSI layout and it has underglow and warm perky lighting. But due to the case being aluminum, the underglow is pretty much rendered useless. I also don't really prefer the underglow for something like this because I think aluminum just looks really sleek. The stabilizers I used for this build were Durock V2 screw-ins, lubed with Krytox 205G0, super lube on the wires, and Holee modded. If you aren't familiar with the Holee mod, it's a solid way to eliminate rattle and ticking. This did come with 2 plates since I bought it aftermarket. After trying both POM plates and FR4, I prefer the POM plate for a nice poppy experience. If we do take a look near the spacebar area, you can also see that there's a little cutout. I'm not 100% sure, but I have been told this is for a softer bottom mount. The top piece is also a nice aluminum, and I like the design with the top piece extending out over the bottom, creating a seamless design but really unique aesthetic. Putting it together, the plate screws into the top, and I did use O-rings to create a softer feel. Normally this board is top mount, but these O-rings allow you to burger mount the keyboard. Due to the nature of the POM plate being extremely flexy, I did put in some of the switches into the plate first, and then I simply fit the parts together using some Soborthane for dampening the PCB. The keyboard is then secured via the 4 included screws and tool. So for this configuration, I did go with Lavenders, but I have tried out many other switches in the same board like Doggycons, Koalas, Retooled Blacks, and many other switches. I chose the Lavenders because they have a nice deep sound profile and they're decently smooth from JWK. They're also really pretty and match the Lilac case pleasantly. I lubed these with Krytox 205G0 and 105 oil on the springs. Most of the switches are also filmed with TX films, but I ran out so I had to use some Kibo films. So then after that, I put on the keycaps. I picked up these green and white keycaps from AliExpress and the quality was extremely good for $40. I broke the spacebar on accident, so I used an EPPT one. To finish off this beautiful build, rncables.com provided me with a beautiful coiled cable to match the keycap set. It works really nice with this, and for the price I highly recommend these cables to anyone looking for one. They're some of the most affordable cables that I've seen, and I do have a discount code if you're interested in getting one or customizing your own. Gold cables are not needed of course, but I do feel like it adds a nice finishing touch to tie it all together. So the assembly of this board was very quick and easygoing, and we got a beautiful end result. Now let's take a listen to how this board sounds. I'm quite pleased at the way it sounds. Keep in mind sound is subjective to various factors like my style of lubing and my environment. Lavenders are really nice for me in terms of weight, not being too light but still being a tad heavy, perfect for typing. I think this board is extremely solid for the price of around $200, but keep in mind you will need to provide your own switches, keycaps, stabilizers, and PCB. While this may be a deal breaker for some of you since you need to purchase so many extra parts, I still think it's really worth it. Overall, you're getting a burger mounted full anodized aluminum 60% keyboard with an elegant look and nice sound. The typing feel is also great. I do think Canon Keys will do another round of these, as I believe they've already done quite a few. Other than that, you can try to find it on the aftermarket like I did. You could also go with the better alternatives in my opinion, the Savage 65, or if you're a fan of other layouts, there's the other variants of the same design. Some being the devastating TKL, inspired by the Boston City Hall as well, and the wrecked 1800. I do also want to mention that you can find some of the parts like keycaps and stabilizers as well as various lubes in the description. They really do help support my channel. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure to join my Discord to interact with me and follow my socials to stay updated. I really do appreciate all the love I've been getting recently. Until next time, peace.